everyone. Thank you for tuning into another video of Nico's Aquatics. Today I'm doing a project video, so this is going to be over the next couple of days. So right now we're adding some alder cones to the 20-gallon community tank. I am trying to lower the pH, and I also want the natural tannins look. So we're going to be adding some alder cones, and I figured I'd basically do a video. I've added them to other tanks before, and I love the way it looks, and I love the natural healing powers basically of alder cones. So if you don't know what alder cones are, this is it. They're basically mini pine cones. That's basically exactly what it is. So basically what they do is they lower the pH in a natural way. So that's always good. You don't want to anytime you can get away with adding a buffer, not adding a buffer, excuse me, and adding some sort of a natural method to it to lower the pH is always good. I'm trying to get it a little lower. Right now it's at 8, which is way too high. So I'm going to add some alder cones instead of adding buffer. So it's a little bit of a slower process. If you add buffer to the tank, it's going to change the pH basically almost instantly. This is a more natural way. Also, it adds tannins to the water, which adds a brown tint to the water. I love them. If you guys have been a fan of the channel for a while, I love the natural look. That's my thing. So I'm going to be adding that to water. So I'm going to get the lower pH. Also going to get the tannins benefit and also the natural look. So the tannins basically, there's a lot that goes into that. You can do your own research. It'd be too long of a video if I go into it. But basically, tannins, it basically replicates the natural water and the natural habitat. Also, it has healing particles in it. So basically, if you have any cuts or fin damage, anything like that, it's a natural medication to the water. And also has a calming effect to the fish as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add 10 of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to boil them. What you can do is you can boil them to basically get rid of a lot of the tannins if you don't want a really brown tank. I like the brownness. I'm not going for a complete tinted brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in just regular hot sink water, as hot as you can go. If you like, you can boil them or also basically microwave some water to be super hot. The more you leave them in there, the brown is basically going to come out. It's the same thing for almond leaves. But I'm not trying to get rid of all of the tannins, so I'm just going to put these in here. Basically, I'm not trying to remove the tannins. What I'm just doing is getting it prepped. Just in case there's any, parasites or anything living in there, because these are obviously not cleaned. This is just from Sarah, Alder Cones. This was $10 on Amazon for 50, which they last a pretty good while in your tank. Like, you don't really have to replace these too much. So I'm just putting them in here to basically get some of the tannins out, but mainly just to get them prepped for the tank. In case there's anything in here, anything you're putting into your tank, you don't want to just put it straight in there. You guys want to kind of trying to get some good looking ones here. Some of them are kind of iffy. Also, what you could do is they last I've had them in there for about a month, really. The almond leaves you have to take out in about a week because then they get black and they kind of rot. These don't really do that. They will get some fungus on them. But what you could do also is put them in like a netting, a filter bag if you want to do that, so it's easier to take out. But these really float for a really long time. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's enough. All right, so we're going to let this sit for maybe like an hour or so. And we'll check back in a little while. All right, so a quick update here. This hasn't even been really an hour. It's been about like 30, 40 minutes. And you can already see it's basically a little bit tea-like. Not too, can't really notice on camera. A little bit of tannins came out. So I've actually decided to change. So always put too little, not too much, right? So this calls for 1 cone per 2 gallons. And this is a 20-gallon tank, so that makes 10. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take out 4. And let's see. This one is so beautiful. I don't want to take that out. Look how gorgeous that is. It's like a perfect cone. Okay, so this one is, let's see, we'll take out that one. And this one here. All right, so I'm going to take those out, and I'm going to toss them because they're no good anymore. I can't really put them back in the thing. Plus, I got plenty here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up with hot water again because it's kind of cooled down. Let it sit for about another 30 to 40 minutes. Then we'll go ahead and put them in the tank. I just wanted to show you guys an update. Alright, so we're back about an hour later. The water's basically cold now. It's about room temperature. So we are all set to put these bad boys in the tank. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, there's the Royal Plico. Go check out the Species Saturday I just did on him. He's really cool. Alright, so I mean, not much to see here. Just throwing these in the tank. You know, they'll probably float for a little while. Look how clear the tank is, man. Looks so good. Alright, so what I'm going to do is probably either maybe later tonight or... Oh, see that? One already fell down. That's cool. I mean, they're going to eventually go down, you know, float to the bottom. It doesn't really make much of a difference. So we did take out those 4. So obviously it may not tint the tank too much. So like I said, it's always better to put less, you know, not enough rather than too much. Because if I put too much in here, which I have done before when I first started doing alder cones, it's really important to put in less than the instruction, right? Especially if you haven't done it before. So we're going to put those in, basically see how that looks. Normally it takes about 24 to 48 hours for it to really start, you know, tinting the tank. I think it's going to look really good in this tank because it's going to add basically the gravel down here, the clay gravel. I think that's going to look really, really good because obviously it's a really natural tank. You know, real natural and whatnot. So I'm really excited to see how this looks. So once I start seeing a difference, I'm also going to monitor the pH. We're going to come back and do an update. So I'll see you guys later. So I'm actually just decided, I'm actually going to go ahead and upload this video. I'm going to edit it, put it out. Then I'm going to do an update video in a couple of days for a separate video. And, you know, check the pH and do an update. Sometime this weekend, maybe on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. I will be putting the link to these part 2 of this video in the description, so be sure to check that out. Also, new shirts coming, so be sure to check that also in the description. Also, if you take a second to please like the Facebook page, that would help out a lot. Almost to 100 likes over there. All right, guys, so that's it. So appreciate you guys watching. Stay safe and always stay wet.